Another day, another dollar. That's right. Welcome back to this channel that I brought back for some reason, even though I said on the second proper video back, I kind of forgot. Anyway, you may remember last night I said that we were going to. There's no we, it's only me. I was going to discuss what was happening in the Adidas Man lore finale. How the channel. My stupid phone. How the channel was going to end. Well, how the lore was going to end. Channel-wise, I didn't plan that far ahead. I have here a list of the events that was going to happen in the lore. Some of which you might already know, because I did do a small bit of work on it, but everything else has not been revealed to the public, and it was going to be revealed, but then I canned the lore, so my bad. And now we gotta go find the thing. Oh, that's the wrong thing. That is. Where is it? Oh, this is embarrassing. I think I'm after losing the thing. Aha! There we go. Adidas Man lore finale. Here it is. Okay. We've seen these before. Dear Diary. You already know what that was about. The Super Mario 64 review, that's when the lore kind of starts kicking in. But then it kind of went on a bit of a hiatus because there was nothing but casual gamers from that point on. But here's where it gets interesting. The casual gamers videos were still a part of the lore, but it was going to be that I do it on my own. So like it would just be Elijah Burger instead of Daddy Burger doing all the work, you know? But then in the third episode of the Casual Gamers mini saga, it would have opened with Elijah Burger checking the news on his laptop, seeing that Daddy Burger was actually killed in a lightning strike. So he's had to go and run Casual Gamers all by himself as a result. He's been trying to keep it together, but doesn't know how long it's going to last because, well, his best friend and arguably his only parental figure is gone now and has been gone and just left him behind after almost 11 years of them being together. 8 years, sorry, I can't math. But yeah, Elijah Burger's there. And then as he finishes reviewing the thing, I don't know what I was going to let it be. After Elijah Burger reviews the thing, there would have been this guy. He had a hood on and he standing there all menacingly and all of that, like this. And Elijah Burger would have gone "Oh no, who are you? Why are you in my house?" And then and the serious figure would have went actually I don't even think I had dialogue planned for him, but to tell you short, he'd there be "Your time in this land has come to an end. Okay, bye now." And he would have shot a laser beam at Elijah Burger, killing him as well, permanently. So that would have been the end of the Casual Gamers altogether. They would have been scrubbed out of the lore completely. Yeah. Afterwards was, is it fun living as a colorblind person? That there was going to be a planned third. But yeah, that there was going to be a third part to an old series I had, which was just me discussing if it was fun as colorblind. Now that these videos weren't necessarily a joke. I actually am slightly colorblind, but that information goes back multiple years. So I figure that maybe just bringing it back in the form of Derek saying it would be better, but it would just be a filler episode basically. It'd just be Derek going on about his life as a colorblind person. Day 5 catching up. I actually don't know why I put day 5 in there. Oh, I think it was meant to be something to do with the Confirmation series that got cancelled a while back. I'm not entirely sure, but I would have focused on Billy Bob Bonkers. Yes, that guy who had a mouth to talk like this every single time. He would come back. And this is multiple years after Who Killed Alexander Wright. Come back, and he's basically fully redeemed. He did his time in jail. He he accepted for his wrongdoings and he's getting mental help, and he's back to being a house inspector. So that it would have basically just been like a review. No. It would have been like an interview with Billy Bob Bonkers. But then, near the end, that same mysterious figure shows up and tries to kill Billy Bob Bonkers, but he leaps out the window and is like there running away from the scene altogether. And that same figure, he's there like, I'm coming for you, Derek, implying that the figure knows who Derek is as the video like cuts to black. Next up would have been a video called Pink Sheep 2, which is basically meant to be Derek trying to recreate the first ever Adidas Man video, but failing miserably because he's now starting to think something is wrong with his surroundings, you know. And throughout the video, you could see like you could see that mysterious shadowy figure like stalking him in the background. I don't know how I would have been able to do it with like using iMovie, but there was that. And then afterwards was the official Beano training guide. Yeah, the sequel to that. Oh, that actual mistake of a video. Oh my god, I just got like flashbacks now. I genuinely think it's the worst, one of the worst videos I've ever made in my life. But it was that. Yeah, it was pretty much Derek trying to make a sequel to the Beano video. But then the door creaks open, so he decides to investigate what it is. He literally sees nothing until he turns in the corner and the mysterious figure is there. He immediately shuts the door upon seeing it, and then he stops recording there. There wasn't going to be like anything there. The video would have just cut out. Derek pressed the record button and the video would have ended. Next up is The Jig Is Up. This would have been like the final proper episode before the finale, the proper finale. And it's pretty much just Derek monologuing to himself initially about how weird his life had been ever since the events of Who Killed Alexander, and ever since he had to take over the Adidas Man channel, and since his house blew up and all that. And the mysterious figure, he finally makes his presence properly known. He confronts Derek head on. And he explains how he was targeted for the past 3 years, but didn't have a physical form, so he pretty much had to hide in the Mario 64 video as like a disguise of Mario that went rogue and killed himself. But the figure revealed that he had this power to like bring himself back to life. That there's important, back to life. He died. The figure died before, but now he's back. So who could it have possibly been? You never know. But Derek wonders. He's thinking there, like, who are you? And then suddenly it like snaps. It comes to him then. It's response that is the old... I'm just reading off the doc, by the way. It's response that is the old cobweb of the corner, the root to Derek's recent mishaps. And he would have, like, taken off his hood, and it would have led to the 2-part series finale, the final piece. Yeah, it would have just continued with the flashback, him taking down his hood. Alexander! The entire time, the mysterious figure was Alexander. He's back! He's back to life! And he's there terrorizing Derek for some grievance. I actually don't think I had a motivation for why Alexander would come back to life. I guess maybe revenge for Derek stealing Alexander's body. That does happen in the lore, by the way. Derek's spirit gets transformed into Alexander's body. So that might have been why Alexander wanted to take revenge on Derek after so many years. Why it took him until like 2020... when did I write this? 2024? Yeah, 2024. I don't know. I'm stupid. But yeah, it would have been that. And then it would have started a fight scene. I'm actually just going to read through the doc here. As Derek quick gets the upper... Oh yeah, Alexander would have actually like gotten... he wouldn't have gotten the upper hand, but he would have like been struggling. He balls up to Kabiyoshi's Woolly World, Derek's all-time favorite game. Alexander tells Derek he should have reviewed that instead of Mario 64. And then Alexander would have slammed the Yoshi's Woolly World disc into the Wii U and it starts glowing before like it shoots a laser at Alexander, and he's basically like all powerful. He's basically the most powerful like god in the whole the Who Killed Alexander / Adidas man lore at this point. Oh my god! Even just looking at it, I have no idea why I wrote that down. And then the final episode, the final goodbye. Continue from last time, Alexander heads straight for Derek, but okay, this is basically the fight scene ending. So they're like throwing punches at each other. Although, of course, since Derek is nothing more than a human being and Alexander is a powerful god that can like shoot lasers and all that, he hasn't got the upper hand, basically. Wait, what is this? Without thinking twice, Derek delivers the final blow to Alexander, kicking him square in the willy. What? He finally dies for real. Okay, I guess that's how Alexander dies for real. He just gets kicked square in the crotch. Oh, yeah. Nice one, Adidas man. Nice one. And then, yeah. Derek pretty much said, as Alexander was dying, if he knew Billy Bob Bonkers was the killer, he could have saved... Oh yeah, pretty much revealed that Billy Bob Bonkers was the killer of Alexander in this finale. If he knew that Billy Bob Bonkers was a killer, he could have saved Alexander a long, long time ago. And then the final few minutes would have pretty much just him, Derek, now not Alexander, putting the disc of Yoshi's World back in the case. And he decides then he wants to move on from everything Who Killed Alexander related. Okay, so he cuts off with everyone he knows. He cuts ties with like Saint Lumberjack, Billy Bob Bonkers, Gary. Rachel's dead. Steve, I forgot their names. But he decides he wants no part in the lore anymore. He wants no part of the guys that pretty much force his life into a living hell. Technically, that was Alexander's fault, but, you know. And he also closes down his company, Adidas Man Incorporated, that he established on the final chapter of Who Killed Alexander. And then the final shot of the Adidas Man lore where it showed Derek walking to the bedroom door and then like closing it in the darkness in the night time. Steps into the hall, gives one final goodbye to the business, and then closes the door. And that would have ended the Adidas Man lore entirely. So yeah, that's how the lore was going to end. It's quite an action-packed it's quite an action-packed channel ending, if I say so myself. Like, that's just weird. I would have had like an epilogue type of video, by the way, explaining like why I chose to end the lore this way instead of like not expand on it further, because the lore is pretty much just like a rip-off of Markiplier's Who Killed Markiplier. I just took that, changed the characters, did some bad acting in it, and then published it to YouTube, and I thought to myself, hey, I'm gonna make an entire goddamn extended universe off this. And you know what, now that I'm here, I might as well just go talk about the cancelled Synesthesia Mortality movie. I was going to have it very planned out. It would just been the gang fighting the very essence of colour itself. It would have been a rip-off of Scott the Waz's Borderline Forever. Listen, I was like 12. I didn't know how to be creative at 12. My creativity was just parodying other people's works and passing them off as my own. And I say parody loosely because it was just stealing. I was stupid. I was like 11, 12 when I first created lore, and I don't like it anymore. I'm now slightly more original in terms of my writing. Anyway, that's how the lore was going to end. This much action-packed thing would have closed off the lore for good. And then the Adidas Man channel would have just been pretty much the same as it is now. Me, myself, and I channel. And yeah, the cast would have been gone for good. No more Casual Gamers, no more Saint Lumberjack, Billy Bob Bonkers, Rachel, Derek, Gary, all that. I wouldn't I wouldn't do anything with them anymore. They would have been gone, like, for good. And yeah, that's about it for the lore. I hope you enjoyed this. Jesus, nearly 15-minute long video. That's probably the longest video in all of Seacht in history. Tune in tomorrow. Tomorrow's going to be filler episode because I don't have anything planned for that. Anyway, yeah, tomorrow's filler, and then Friday is just, well, the Friday, so it'd be the last video of the week, and yeah. Full disclaimer though, I was going to put it in the community post, but I just realized now that I might as well get it out of the way before I forget. Going forward, Seacht2ne will be getting more personal, you know. It's going to be less of the rambling, more of here's what's on my mind, and like what's actually proper personally on my mind. I need to get it out there in the endless void, and I'm sorry, and yeah. So, possibly going forward, Seacht2ne might get more personal. I'll probably put a community post explaining exactly why, but for now, yeah, Seacht2ne is gonna change very soon, actually. Look at the time. But I'm still gonna be me. I'm still gonna be the silly, goofy, fun guy that just turns on the camera and says whatever. And I try to make people laugh, but I know that literally never happens all the time. But yeah, time to close off this video. It's gone on for way longer than it has, I think. Tune in tomorrow for way less of a video, I hope. Okay, that's basically it. Goodbye, enjoy your night.